Yeah.
I keep everything.
I have swiped the plate clean many, many times,
Yeah.
and I've matured into giving it away to people now instead of
Yes.
destroying it. Like, I don't have to actually, I just need to get it out of my space
Yes.
so that I can move on to the next creative process.
Yes. Otherwise, your house would be so cluttered, you wouldn't be able to create and go to the next thing. Yeah.
Well, Georgie O'Keeffe wrote something that I read before I had started in at OCAD. I went there as well. She had said that we at times hold on to our pieces. They're so precious. Look what we've achieved, that it blocks us from moving forward and finding new horizons in our creative process.
Yes, you hold on to what you've done, and you kind of like rest on your lapels. Eh?
Yeah. But it's important for me to make a difference. You know, to not just be a self-indulgent artist.
It's good to live your life the way you want to live it. This is how you feel most fulfilled, and you're creative, and you're outgoing, and you love to talk.
I do, indeed.
And this is the best way to live your life.
Yeah. Well, and it's
and
the
you're
best.
enjoying it.
Well, you know what? With this opportunity, it gives me the ability to highlight you and every other artist. And in speaking to you, you speak the collective language of the creative mind. And I don't need to say it with my own words. I can listen to you.
Very well.
And
Very
that
good.
affirms me as a creative person. And it affirms that I am part of a collective community, that I am not aloof and alone. I think so many of us think that we're separate from our family, separate from our community, separate from the planet, when we're not. We're all interconnected.
Yes, very true.
And the more we enhance one another, the more we benefit as individuals.
Very good. Very good.
How do you feel about that?
I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Well, you play a role in the Erin Horticultural Society? Are you a board member? Or?
I was a director for a while, and now I'm just strictly a member. And
Very good. So what does the Horticultural Society do here in Erin?
they try to raise the profile of gardening, and they were instrumental in pushing for the small parquet across the street that's in there. That, by the way, they did a good job. And along with the Optimist Club that built the gazebo, I think it's looking very well. And I congratulate all the directors and members of the garden club for helping them make that happen. It's a wonderful park, and this town deserves it.
There's a prime example of working collectively together.
It finally happened. It took a while, but it finally happened.
Well, don't things normally? Like,
Yeah.
we really have to plan years ahead.
Yes. The world turns so much faster now that kids have to think faster, and maybe their attention span a little shorter than it should be. And sometimes it takes a guiding person who's older like myself to say, just slow down, slow down, look a little harder. Obviously, it's going to change over the years. That's one thing I learned about my garden when I go into my garden every day, that I realized this. It was stunning revelation last year when I realized that my garden is different every single day. There's a new addition, or one flower fades and another comes in, and it's like a revolving, changing canvas. I like to call it nature's canvas. And art and gardening, to me, is very similar in the style. That the satisfaction I get from my gardening, working in a three-dimensional canvas, nature's canvas.
Yeah, living art.
Living art, yes. Mother Nature's living canvas.
And it's choosing how it wants to do things as well.
Yeah, sometimes the decision's made for you. I have a couple of squirrels back there that have their own idea of gardening.
Have you named those two?
Not yet.
Bonnie and Clyde.
Not
the
yet.
squirrels in the backyard.
I like it. I'm going to go with that. Bonnie and Clyde. That's wonderful. It's all good. It's part of the deal.
Absolutely. And it speaks to our souls, when when we look out and we see
How
things
big
coming
is your
alive.
garden? Do you have a big garden, or is it a small one?
Probably half the size of yours.
Do you have any art pieces in it? Do you do any art pieces, like sculptural or paintings or anything?
I have lots of old beds.
The old bed frame.
Old metal bed frames. When I find old metal
I
bed
found
frames.
a fabulous brass one, an old brass bed, and
Yeah.
I put that in.
I have one too.
Yeah.
It's been painted white, but it's still that brass bed, and I've got
Yeah.
it in the two parts, and I wire it in there so things can grow around. You know, everything has a stage, like you say. You know,
That's
like when
right.
the vine is all over it.
That's right.
It's all about the vine, and when the vines died off and faded away,
That's right.
then it's all about the iron.
Yeah, yeah.
How else would you say to people to embrace the arts in their life?
Encourage their children to be creative. Try to open doors where they're exposed to art. Visit the art galleries once in a while. Do the tours. I was surprised. I've only lived in Erin 5 years, but I was surprised at how many art tours there are up here, and what a strong artistic presence there is. For example, in the small town of Alton, release the artist inside. You know, sometimes to just look at something artistically. You know, and see it for the beauty that it is. You know, just be aware that there's art all around us, like you said. There's art everywhere. Art matters.
Art makes you smart.
Art makes you smart. Art makes you smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if people want to get in touch with you or see some of your work, can they? No?
I guess they can check out. I'm on Facebook. There's a lot of photographs I have there on Facebook. They can just punch me up on Dominc Amato on Facebook, and I'm there.
Okay, great.
All right.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for the
It
time.
was fun. Thank you. You're a sweetheart, Daisy.